There we go. Hello. Happy Monday, everyone. We got a lot of news to go through today, and we'll see how much of it we get through today. We might have to go through some of it tomorrow. But if that is the case, that's perfectly fine. But as the thumbnail suggests, there is one story that I wanted to talk about in particular. So with me today talking about that is, of course, TJ Rainman. How's it going, TJ?
What's happening? It's good to be back.
Hell yeah.
Anyone who recognizes me probably knows that I have opinions on everything and knowledge of nothing, so should make for a good show.
I don't know about all that. I think that's most people on the internet for going by that standard.
That's fair.
But I hope you had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I was doing some game streams over the weekend. That was pretty cool. Playing Helldivers and stuff. Probably play some other games this week as well. I'm going to start doing video game streams for people interested in that. Even if you're not interested, I'm still going to do it because I play video games. Might as well make content out of it. Yesterday, on the stream yesterday I had, dude, there was a guy. It was early in the day, and I was live streaming, and he was let's just say he was having a good Sunday because he didn't know what was going on.
That's fun. Yeah, I miss the old Halo 2, Halo 3 days. Like, might be a little before your time, but I'm telling you, that was the golden era in gaming. Like those post-game lobbies, everyone just talking.
I never played online for like Halo 3 and stuff, but I have played Halo 2 and Halo 3, just like the campaign mode. But Helldivers, I don't know. I've been really liking Helldivers. It's kind of it feels a little bit like Destiny, feels a little bit like Halo, cool. And then obviously when you go and fight the bugs, it's like Starship Troopers. So anyway, without further ado, let's actually get into the news. My life isn't news. So first story we wanted to get into is Elon Musk talking about his children. So he's actually made some statements finally with the Ashley St. Clair drama. I don't know if you've seen this. You know about the Ashley St. Clair stuff. She said that she had to hide away her kid and didn't want to say who the father was for a while.
Right.
And then she came out and was like, someone's going to write an article about me. And then so she just came out and said that the kid was Elon Musk.
Right. I heard about it like hitting the news cycle like a couple of weeks ago. Any new developments?
There's new stuff. So Ashley St. Clair sells her Tesla amid child support cut. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, so
uh,
we know she's a cultist already. So
So Ashley
that's
St. Clair, identified as the mother of one of Elon Musk's children, has sold her Tesla vehicle. This action follows a reported 60% reduction in child support payments from Elon Musk. The sale of the Tesla, which was reportedly a gift from Musk during their relationship, is said to be an attempt to compensate for the financial shortfall caused by the reduced child support. So she's just hopping on the bandwagon here. She doesn't actually need the money from her Tesla. I mean, what is it? 60%? Like 60%? How much is Elon Musk giving her? If he is giving her money, because I know we looked into this last time this was going on, and it was like $40,000 for an apartment or something like that.
right.
And that wasn't. I don't even know if that was including other expenses. So 60% might be a lot, but like when you look at the grand total on what she's probably still getting, like it's not that.
It'd still be
You're
enough to
still
live
getting
off of.
plenty.
Yeah. No, and I
So
think that's the thing is that people will like oftentimes just like live to their like financial means. Like no matter if you're making $30,000 a year, $60,000 a year, you're going to be living paycheck to paycheck because you've just like brought your life standard to a certain point.
no,
And so,
that's exactly right.
yeah, and so as soon as she loses any percentage of that money, it feels like she's poor now. You know what I mean?
Mad Stork said, "Whenever Tesla sales go up, we should expect Elon's been busy."
Yeah.
Dude, I've been making the joke. Let King Trump reign forever. Sick of shitty government. Yeah, you like that thumbnail? Whenever Tesla sales go up, we should suspect Elon's been busy. Dude, I've been making this joke. Elon, I said Telon. Tesla Elon. I've been making the joke. He's like the modern day Genghis Khan. Like he's just out there,
Just trying to
having
repopulate
kids.
the world.
He's just trying to repopulate, bro. It's gonna be 1,000 years into the future, and they're gonna be documentaries about how 1 or 2% of the population has Elon Musk as a great, 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 great grandfather.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Well, I mean, what is it in China? China's got like a crazy percentage of Genghis Khan, like super great grandchildren.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know what the percentage is.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to throw a number out there. I just know it was really
What
high.
do they call it? The most prolific reproducer or something like that?
Oh wait, Mad Stork said, unlike Genghis, Elon isn't a redhead. Okay. Was Genghis Khan a redhead? I don't think he was.
Mad Stork, we trust you're our Jamie, and we trust what you
Pull it
say.
up, Jamie.
That one, yeah, that one's a little off. I'm
He
not
said
trusting.
yes. Okay, I'll trust. I'll
Okay.
trust Stork on that. He's our historical reports say he was a redhead.
All
I'll
right,
trust our Jamie. We can't go against Jamie, man.
I like how
Does Rogan go against Jamie? He can't do it.
exactly. No, I like how both of us were just like, Wait, was he really a redhead? I don't quite believe that. And then Mad Stork gives us one more, like, no, I swear. And it's
Yeah.
okay, I guess it's
Mad
true.
Stork,
Then.
Mad Stork, do not abuse this power we've given you. But there's actually a video of Ashley St. Clair selling her Tesla. So let's watch this.
Oh, she had to film herself doing it.
That's why I was like, dude, it's all just a stunt. It was all just a big stunt.
Right. So real quick, I could see the justification for the argument of okay, I don't need the vehicle. I'm starting to sell off assets, so I have more money for the other things I need to spend it on. But to go out and like sell it publicly, making a video of it, like you're definitely doing it for more than just the money you're going to get from it. You're doing it for the clout.
Well, 100%. And you didn't tell me that I wasn't presenting the picture. So I blame you for that. This is what you guys were missing. You guys were missing this beautiful YouTube trending page. So before we play this video, you know what I do have to play, though? I do have to play a 1775 coffee ad.
Hit it.
If it'll load. There we go. All right, guys. So, it's a little late in the afternoon, but if you're just now waking up, just like me, I woke up like 2 hours ago. You should go ahead and get some coffee, 1775 coffee, preferably. Weak coffee is for the weak, and at Rumble, weak has never been a part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity, just like 1775 coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, just roasted enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a King Trump, that should be King Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness, and Vitality Mushroom blend, real energy and lasting focus. No synthetic garbage for K-Cup pods, whole bean, and fresh ground coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com. Use code STUDIO for 15% off, and start your morning with coffee that stands for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30K in cash. If you guys win that, you should definitely send pictures to me, and I will showcase it in a video because that would be sick as hell. If if someone I knew won that from 1775 coffee, like what if Joey wins that because he actually buys the coffee. I'm not a big coffee guy, so but Joey swears by it.
I do 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and I don't really like a whole lot of coffee, so I just like have to chug it super quick before I'm out the door, so I stay awake. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just drinking trash coffee. Maybe I need to give the 1775 coffee a shot and see if it convinces me otherwise.
Yo yo yo, West Rev. Red hair was also rare, but not unheard of. Yeah, he's correcting us down in the chat. I'll have to read. I'll read some of that after this clip. Let's get to the clip.
Selling it because I need to make up for the 60% cut that Elon made to our Savage Child.
Yeah, she's just pissed she's not getting money, bro.
That's a great question, Brennan.
You feel like he was sort of like vindictive against you in some way?
Yeah, that's his modus operandi when women speak out.
See, look, yeah, she's literally just trying to get more money from him.
February 13th?
But he's just not responding to you at all. How would you characterize sort of the way that he's going about
you can check the stocks. I'm not the only one
We won't
who's
get you on
cleaning
that.
up after his messes.
We're not going to get you.
She's literally just trying to bank on the fact of all the Tesla drama. Like,
Well,
what are your initial thoughts on this? Because I feel like she's just trying to bank off all this drama recently, and she's getting, if let's say it's even 10K, 60% cut, she's still getting 4K a month. That's a ton of fucking money, dude.
Yeah.
Like for anybody, like an average person, but obviously it's Elon Musk, so it's gonna be way more than that. And she's just upset that she's not getting her fucking payday anymore.
Yeah. So watching that video, it almost seemed like that was more paparazzi than it was her trying to like make a video of it, and she's just like answering the questions. Like, sure, she's probably happy to answer the questions, but it doesn't seem like she went out to do it as a publicity stunt. Almost, it's just shaping up to be that way. I don't know, just trying to play devil's advocate a little bit, a little bit of benefit of the doubt, I guess.
No, I get that, but like look at the way she was wording it. Like she was talking about, she was like, "Oh, just look at his stocks. Look at the Tesla stocks. You could see I'm not the only one cleaning up after his messes lately." Is exactly what she said. Just talking about how his stocks are going down, and she's just like, she's being weird about it. She's upset that he hasn't responded since this whole thing came out. But you know, it's funny. After this video, he did respond
Awesome.
on X. On X, let's pull it up. So let me see. Pull it up right. I have so many tabs open up.
Have you ever seen like someone who just like goes on Facebook and airs their dirty laundry, and they just make a post about, oh, sometimes you got this lying ass, significant other that you gotta like, I don't know, whatever they say, they're just like letting the whole world of Facebook know about their relationship problems, and it almost feels like this is that cringy, that level of cringe.
Yeah, Mad Stork said there are 2 sources of him having red hair. He's given us in-depth detail now. Like he's got multiple chats in.
How's he an expert on Genghis Khan?
This lady didn't get her way and is female. End of story. Simple as. That's what Sick of Shitty Government said.
Yeah.
Well, Sick of Shitty Government. Elon did respond to this, so let's
quick
pull this
question.
up.
What was Ashley St. Clair famous for before being?
I think she was a podcaster, I think.
Right, like was she on Timcast at some point or something like that? Like I feel like
I think she was.
She wasn't.
I think she was.
Right, like I feel like I recognized the name and I had a like kind of positive vibe feel toward her or whatever. Like I didn't see anything wrong. Maybe she said some things on the show.
She's referred to as a conservative influencer.
Okay.
That's what she's referred to as.
And so what's upsetting about this whole situation is that, she's no longer a conservative influencer. It seems like her entire like life revolves around this celebrity drama between her and Elon right now. Like what influencing has she done for conservative?
Well, I guess she's just had a kid. Like you're gonna focus on the kid and like the father, right?
Sure.
So that could be it, but we don't even know. So here, let's read the comments from Elon.
Yeah.
So Laura Loomer posted the video as well. Her statements are funny. Gold digger and professional gaslighter Ashley St. Clair was caught on camera outside of her ritzy Manhattan condo, paid for her by her sugar daddy Elon Musk, selling her $100,000 Tesla. She said was gifted to her by Elon Musk during their romantic relationship. She didn't even buy the dude. She didn't even buy the Tesla. That's why she doesn't care.
Right.
She didn't even buy it. She just wanted the money. She said she's selling it to make up for $100,000 in alleged cuts to her child support payments from Elon. Dude, that's a lot of money.
100,000.
If 100,000, it says 100,000 alleged cuts to her child support. She took a jab at Elon, telling people to check the Tesla stock, adding, "I'm not the only one cleaning up after Elon's messes." Ashley, as I reported, has hired anti-Trump lawyers to sue Elon Musk. He was ordered by the court to take a paternity test. So Elon actually responded to Laura Loomer here. This is the official Elon account. He said, "I don't know if the child is mine or not, but I'm not against finding out. No court order is needed. Despite not knowing for sure, I have given Ashley $2.5 million and am sending her $500K a year." He outright says how much he's sending her. So,
dude, $500K a year, like,
that's crazy. Wait, so
she doesn't have to do anything for the,
what's 60% cut? What's the 60% cut then?
Well, it almost sounds like he was giving her over $1 billion a year, and he cut it down to 500.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
So yeah, he's giving her over $1 million a year. He gifted her $2.5 million.
Wait, did he gift it to her, or was that just like the initial?
He said, despite not knowing for sure, I have given Ashley $2.5 million and am sending her $500K a year.
Wow.
So that would lead me to believe he's just this year he's gonna be he would have given her $3 million.
That's an expensive.
That's one expensive. It's one expensive hookup, bro. There's cheaper hookers than that. I don't know if you'd have to spend $3 million to get me. I'm just saying. Like, dude, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and how can anybody complain about receiving that amount of money for doing nothing?
No, like, this is like the world's biggest grift. Like, who is it that holds the grifties? Like, if Ashley St. Clair doesn't win a grifty this year, I don't know who tops her.
Right.
Like that's quite the grift. You get a kid that may or may not be Elon's, and then you get Elon to give you $3 million when he's not even sure if the kid is his. That's wild, bro.
I can. Yeah.
Okay, so relating to I'm not sure exactly what this is. I didn't have time to find the full information on this clip. But this guy, I'm assuming this is for political reasons. I don't know if the guy recording is in a Tesla or what. But so I should be able to share this on YouTube because you don't see any like gore or anything like that. We'll find out. So lefty enraged by another driver accidentally runs down a family at a crosswalk. So this is all on video. You don't, it like cuts out, the guy turns the camera away when the impact happens, so you don't see the full thing. So that's why I think it's fine to share on YouTube.
Hi, TikTok. Hi, Live. Yeah, go ahead. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
You're not paying attention.
I'm paying attention to you.
God.
Hey, you Joe Biden looking motherfucker. My dick, you
Wait,
fucking
and then
you
he's not looking, makes the turn, bam, hits a family.
Oh, God.
No.
He just hit somebody. God.
Dude,
Oh, God.
was it worth it?
Check that view counter.
Was it worth it though?
Dude.
Was it worth it?
It's a PSA to say stop fucking texting and driving.
Dude, just look at the road. Look at where you're going. Like that was easily avoided, but nope.
I could see like someone like filming and like just driving straight, but to make a turn without looking where you're going is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, no, seriously. And like before the fight had happened, he had to have seen the family getting ready to cross, right?
he was just so hyper fixated on the drama.
I guess so, but that's ridiculous. And then let's see, what did I had some other stuff to talk about.
Be interesting to hear about what charges.
Yeah, I want to see what charges he gets or something, because that was completely idiotic. I would hope his license gets revoked.
I mean,
Like,
there might be like incidental manslaughter charges in that or something.
Yeah, we don't even know if anyone got hurt on that. I was trying to look up more information on it, but I don't know. Okay, well, we'll move on to this. I got a few videos to play today, so let's play this. Let's play this on from Libs at TikTok. Watch the moment this dude who allegedly vandalized a Tesla is confronted and realizes he's cooked.
Nice. This is the find out portion.
Service. How about you pay for the repairs?
Yeah, he fucked around and now he's finding out.
You just bought a Tesla.
I can wipe it off
No,
with a towel.
no,
It's not
no.
a key.
It is a
It was
hate crime, sir.
a crayon.
It is a hate crime.
Listen,
Did you write a swastika on there?
I'm sorry you're upset.
Did you write a swastika?
It didn't even work. Apparently it doesn't work.
Did you write a
The crayons
swastika
don't
on the?
work.
He said in the beginning here, the guy recording, he said it's a hate crime. How much you want to bet the guy recording is Jewish?
I would hope so. I think that would be.
And he wrote a swastika on a Jewish man's Tesla.
Oh God, Jewish people should buy all the Teslas right now.
Dude, that would be great. Yeah, you guys want a free payday on hate crime charges? Oh man, just go buy a Tesla as a Jew. Just drive around LA or something, park in the like shady places. Yeah. By shady, I mean in front of like trans reading hour or something like that.
But no, guy trying to like cope and rationalize, and like it didn't even work. It was
he's like it was a crayon, but no, look, it gets worse because he realizes he fucked up.
It's a key, sir. We see it on the video.
It's not a key.
Did you? Is it a swastika?
I was probably putting my keys in my pocket.
Is it a swastika?
Have you looked at your car? Is there a key mark?
Is it a swastika?
That's impossible.
It's at the police right now. It's being fingerprinted.
What do you mean it's being fingerprinted?
Because
his whole demeanor changed. His whole demeanor changed. What?
Yeah, now this is no longer
being fingerprinted.
Now this is not a dispute between two different people. Like law enforcement is involved right now.
Oh, Matt, we're losing our Jamie. It's all right, Jamie.
We'll see you sometime soon, Matt.
We'll see it. We'll see you tomorrow if you can't make it to the rest of the show. It's all good, homie.
Good hanging out.
But no, but you see it. His whole demeanor changed. Like you just said, it's different now. It's not just, oh, this guy's accusing me. Oh, crap, it's at the police. The police are looking into it.
Yeah. And it's getting fingerprinted.
Getting fingerprinted. He's like, what do you mean it's getting fingerprinted?
Does it show the actual Tesla Sentinel mode footage?
No, it didn't show that in this clip. I'll look in the comments after. We'll see if...
Dude, I've been thinking about, like, if I see a Cybertruck, like, walking up to it, like, with my keys, and then just, like, getting close, and then be like, psych, just kidding, I'm not a leftist, Trump 2028, or something like that.
No, you should walk up with your keys out, and then you should get real close, and you should lean in, and you should kiss the side door.
Yeah,
and then just walk away.
Something like that. Like,
that way they share that video, and they're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And then all the people can make fun of you. They're like, he secretly loves Elon. He just wanted to make it look like you hate him.
Yeah. I think that'd be funny, especially if it got posted.
All right, let's see the rest of this because it goes a little
track
more.
You down. Thankfully, Facebook tracked you down.
Damn.
So your business, your freaking livelihood, everything now, because you chose to write so you tell Facebook that you're sorry.
See how he shuts up and he's like, listen.
Look at I'm speaking compassionately now. My hand is on my heart.
Listen. All right, let's listen to the rest.
Swastika on a Tesla.
Listen, I said I'm sorry.
For what?
And I apologize.
For what?
You can hear his voice get shaky too.
Get the confession, bro. Get the confession.
He said, I'm sorry. You can hear his voice shaking like he's maybe about to get into tears.
Yep.
He's like, I'm fucked.
I have nothing against your car, and I have nothing against you.
So why did you write a swastika on a Tesla?
Obviously, I have something against Elon Musk, but that's not the
so
way
Elon
to
Musk
show my...
owns that car? Because
no,
it was
he
bought
owns
and
the
paid
company.
for. It was bought and paid for a long time
That's
ago.
why it's misguided, and obviously I did not intend to do this.
All right, we're gonna wait for the...
Damn.
I think that's a confession. Like,
no, that was 100% a confession, bro.
Closed.
But no, you can see how his demeanor changed when he's like, wait, the police have it? The police are looking at it?
Right.
Looks like, oh, wait. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm looking at the comments, and it looks like people are posting his social medias and stuff, so let's not share that. Looks
It's awesome
like
that he said that the cops were going to track you down, but Facebook tracked you down.
yeah.
Like, you gotta love the wisdom of the masses being able to, you know.
No, dude, that shit happens all the time because what happens on everything on the internet gets found eventually. Like that's just
It's
the
remarkable.
nature. It's the nature of the internet.
It's like
But
that flag that Shia LaBeouf or whatever put up, and like Reddit eventually found it.
I don't know what you're referencing.
It was the internet coming together to find this flag that had a 24-hour live stream on it, and
Oh,
there, I don't know. There's big history behind it, but it's just another example of the internet finds a way. You know.
yeah. No, definitely. The internet does find a way. And we're going to be going into this next story. Let me just make sure to share the link again for any, because we're about halfway. We're almost halfway at the halfway point. I wanted to talk about how this toddler got kicked out of a nursery for being transphobic. Let's talk
Wow.
about, yeah. So I haven't read this article yet. I woke up late today and I was almost late to the show, so I didn't read the article. But the title drew me in,
Yeah,
so I figured we'd read it together.
I like it.
So a toddler has been kicked out of a nursery after being accused of transphobia. New figures reveal. New figures? Isn't that what? That's a weird way to word that.
Right.
The child, aged either 3 or 4, 3 or 4-year-old transphobic. Oh, must be the parents. Was suspended for abuse against sexual orientation and gender identity. Data from the Department of Education shows the offense took place in the 2022-2023 academic year at a state school, according to the Telegraph. So this is a couple years ago. This includes 10 pupils, year 1 and year 2, where the maximum age, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't... Where's the part that... Okay. Every once in a while, the extremes of gender ideology throw up a story that seemed too crazy to believe, and a toddler being suspended from a nursery for so-called transphobia or homophobia is one such example. Involved in insanity should be ashamed. Yeah. Okay. Well, where's the part? I want to know what the kid did. What did the kid do?
Like, what if this kid is just like super intelligent and woke, and
Right.
just,
He called a man he called a woman a man or
or
something.
he's just like, actually, this is a mental disorder according to the DSM.
Yeah. Right.
Like, he just like rifling off the stats, and he didn't just say that no, that's a man. You know, what if he came out and he was like, "Men have penises and girls have vaginas"? As a
Yeah, like that
and
one
then
old
boom,
video
that's
everyone shares.
transphobia now.
Right. Let's see. Okay, I'm just trying to quickly read through this. I don't see where it says it.
Oh, is that
Okay.
the parents of the parents that complained.
Wait, now it's talking about another story. In 2022, a Church of England school in the Isle of Wight warned a 6-year-old boy's parents that he might be deemed transphobic if he were to question another pupil wearing a dress. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. What? Okay, it doesn't even say. So it just says that there's record of this happening and that they don't give the example.
Huh.
Maybe
just a weak article.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's the Daily Mail. I would have expected more from them.
Right. The concept is infuriating, though. Like,
well, yeah, I'm not surprised, but I guess this was a couple years ago. Would this happen today is the question, and I would say maybe in California.
Yeah, I could believe it.
Yeah, I mean, in California, they'll take your kids away if you don't affirm their gender. So, and then the schools will. I had a buddy. I won't say any of their names for privacy reasons, but I had a buddy, and he went to go pick up his sister from school one day, and the teachers were letting her out, and they were calling her by a boy's name, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Whoa.
Yeah, and the family knew nothing about it.
Yep. I think that Newsom was called out by someone recently in an interview about the parents, like not being told. Like,
no, it's a big problem in California. It's like what's called, basically, it's the
Bill Maher or something, and Bill Maher was calling him out.
Yeah, I think I have something on that pulled up. If not, we'll talk about that tomorrow because that was some news on. I think it was on Friday. But no, what was it? What was I gonna say? So in California, what they do is they use so there's certain laws they have for like you have a duty to report kind of thing for school faculty and staff.
Right.
So if someone comes to you and tells you, or like a student comes to you and tells you they're being abused by their parents, you have a duty to notify law enforcement.
Right.
Or child protective services. You are not allowed to. You are physically not allowed to go and tell the parents that the child said that. So even if it's a child who just makes up stories, or they repeated a story that could come off as weird or abusive, the helpers and the teachers have a duty to report. That's the law in California.
So I've heard of like mandate reporter, right?
They're a mandated reporter. Yes.
Yeah, and like I don't feel like I'm super opposed to.
No, the mandated reporting is good, but what I'm getting at is in California they twist that to if someone comes out as trans or something like that, and they feel like the parents aren't going to be supportive, then they just don't tell them, and then they go and report
that's
it to
the loophole that they're using. They
use the rules around mandated reporting. Yeah, they use the same kind of rules for the trans stuff.
Gotcha.
So they keep it within the school, or if the parents aren't affirming at home, maybe Child Protective Services gets involved. They use that kind of same rules, or those kind of same rules.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. In theory, just I don't know, random thoughts. It almost feels like if something's happening at home and the school finds out about it, like the school can tell like the police or something like that. Yeah. But if something's happening at school, the communication needs to go back the other way, and it does need to be reported back to the parents. I
guess there is a fine line.
Ways, you know?
Yeah, there's a fine line with that. Just because like if you are getting abused at home, you don't want the school to go back and be like, "Hey, little Tommy snitched on you," because then he's gonna get beat even harder that night. You know?
Exactly. But like let's say that. Let's say that the kid is, showing signs of being trans, or from back in my day, it's called being a tomboy. And girls, went through that phase and came out of it. But
sick of shitty government. He said California needs liberated from retarded communists. The whole country will end up like that with our King Trump and the royal bloodline. King Trump could be usurped by Governor Gavin though. So we need to be watching out for that, guys. I keep warning everybody. Everyone's like, oh, whatever, Gavin ain't gonna do it. But I'm not so sure, guys. I think he's capable. So we gotta move it along here because I have a lot of stories. So I just brought up this story just because I thought it was funny, and also it lets me talk about another country that we all know and love. So I also just wanted to say this guy's last name. So Coon, Senator Chris Coons. That's an interesting last name. He commented on the awareness of middle Americans regarding global geography, specifically mentioning that many might not be able to locate Greenland on a map. I think everyone should know where Greenland is. It's like one of the easiest places. It's a continent of its own. Like
right. Not right.
It's not. I'm not a continent, but like it's cut off. It's cut off from everybody. It's its own place. Right. It's like saying you don't know where Antarctica is. It's like you just look at the map. It's got its own place.
Right.
It's not like you're picking out Ukraine, because and that's what I wanted to bring up here is like he's like, oh, people can't say where Greenland is on a map. Like, okay, can you say where Ukraine is on a map? Because that one's actually hidden between a bunch of other countries and Russia.
Yeah, it'd be the difficult thing to actually point out. And I'll be honest, like I'm not too geographically inclined. Like I couldn't point out.
So his comments are targeting you, TJ.
Okay, well then, do you want to fucking fight? Let's go.
But
I'll fight you anytime, anywhere, as long as I
anywhere.
can find that anywhere.
Oh yeah, I guess Trump. Okay, this is CNN. Look at the tagline on CNN. Trump won't rule out military force to get Greenland.
We're running with that, huh?
I love CNN. CNN. What would we do without them? All right, let's see this clip. It's only 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Look, your average Trump voter laughs at us and says he's owning the libs. And your average middle American says, why are you wasting your time worrying about Greenland? I can't even find it on a map. Look, your average Trump voter laughs.
Okay, well, devil's advocate here. He's not saying that people in middle America don't know where Greenland is on the map. He's saying that like that's what they would be saying to Trump. So it's he worded it weird, but basically he's saying he was doing an impersonation of a Middle American, and he's saying I don't even know where that is on a map.
Gotcha.
So just I mean that's another way to look at it, but I still kind of think he's saying that people don't know where it is, and I just think that's a funny argument when we've sent billions of dollars to Ukraine, and I guarantee like more than half the people arguing for Ukraine funding wouldn't be able to tell me where it is.
Right. Well, here's a question. Like, do people actually need to know where it's at to understand the argument of, a military benefit to having it, or whatever, if there's resources. So the resource.
Well, yeah, the resources, we would be able to build bases there that would be a little bit closer to the rest of, like Europe and stuff.
Right. So do you have to be able to point it at a map to comprehend the benefits that could come from having
I would say yes and no, because if you're talking about like military strategy, I think you should know where it is on a map. But if you're just talking about the resources that we could get from it, and you know about like the resources they have there, then I guess you don't need to know where it is on the map. But if you're talking about like politically and militarily, then you should probably know where it is.
Right. I feel like most people probably do know where it is, like you said, because it is like kind of
like sick of shitty government. What easy way to like tell people northeast of the United States. It's literally next to Canada, to the right of Canada, northeast of the United States. It's really close.
I think the funnier argument would be people like, I don't know, the whole Iceland's covered in green and Greenland is covered in ice.
I love that joke.
So like, how many people would be confused by that?
Right, and they start pointing out Iceland. Maybe if they had like the Google Map setting on where it what's called it's like the satellite imaging, and it's like this one's white, this one's green, this one's the Greenland.
or do like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire multiple choice thing, and it's like, what country is this? And it's just like an icy tundra.
Damn, I could hear your Discord when it goes off. Quick, everyone spam TJ on Discord.
No, don't you dare.
Okay, so this is a great story. I really loved this one. And so it looks like the U.S. military is going to set equal combat standards for everybody again, men and women. So Pete Hegseth is, I was trying to look into it a little bit more. I don't know if he's raising the standards or if he's just setting it so that everyone has the same standards. But what do you think about this, TJ? I'm sure there's not much to add. I'm sure we're both in agreement on this.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to perform if there's a level of physicality involved in the job that you're going to be performing, you need to prove that you're able to perform that work. And so, yeah.
Well, Tim talks about this when it comes to like firefighters and stuff. There needs to be a certain set of standards for firefighters. If I'm trapped in a burning building, who do I want? Do I want someone who's 5'4" coming in and they're like nice and scrawny and they barely passed the test because they were able to do like 10 sit-ups or something like that? Or do I want a 6'4" woman fucking beefed out? She like can bench press me for an hour straight. Like,
right. Like, bring me Olga. If you're bringing me a woman,
bring me Olga. If I'm gonna get trapped in a fire, bring me fucking Olga, dude. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. Just I want them capable.
Exactly. And I think that's, I don't know why it was ever considered that like these are areas where we can skimp out.
It's just because they were trying to be more inclusive, which I understand to a certain point. But when you're talking about the defense of our country, you can't be inclusive in that.
Yeah, and like I almost wonder if the standardized physical tests should be something like, you do whatever you can do, and based on what you can do, you fall into like a category of jobs that are, authorized for someone who meets the requirements that you've met. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then let's read this statement from Pete Hegseth before we move on to the next story. So different physical standards for men and women in the U.S. military have existed for a long time, but there will be also combat roles that were male only. Then under Obama, all combat roles were open to men and women, but different physical fitness standards for men and women remained. Today at Department of Defense, we fixed this. All combat roles are open to men and women, but they all meet the same high standard. No standards will be lowered, and all combat roles will only have sex-neutral standards. Common sense. So yeah, I'm all for that. Like I said, I don't care if women are in the military. At the end of the day, I would prefer that they weren't in combat. But if we are going to allow women in combat, they need to meet the exact same standards as any guy.
Yeah, that's kind of goes without saying. It just makes sense. So
Absolutely. And then let's move on to the next story. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get through everything today, but that's okay. Oh, I I accidentally got rid of that story. Hang on, I gotta pull it back up now. Oopsie daisy.
burning time, brother. Burning time.
Burning time. I'm just sitting here wasting time, guys. I'm sorry about that. Okay, it's this one. We're also gonna talk about China because there's a big thing about the Panama Canal.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Let me pull this up. Bam. All right, I had it. So the House is going to be voting on the SAVE Act for election integrity. This was put forward by Chip Roy. HR 22, the SAVE Act, is on the floor this week. It's a simple bill. It requires proof of citizenship to register to vote. It also requires states to clean their voter rolls of non-citizens. This is critical legislation. So hopefully that gets, put through. I don't know if you have anything to add on that. It's pretty straightforward.
So this is the one that's been sitting there for quite some time, but it wasn't brought to a vote, or Biden wouldn't sign it, or like this has been something.
A version of this has
while,
existed.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a version of this has existed for a while. So it looks like they're finally voting on it. Hopefully it gets through. I mean, this should be common sense. This should be something everybody agrees on.
You would think, but then you have the people with malicious intent that are, that
Of course.
These changes cripple their ability to obtain power. So, yeah, I'm excited to see the vote. When does the vote take place?
Let's see. I think it's later this week.
Are they doing any sort of?
Oh wait, here. Let's see. Jasmine Crockett. Wait. Jasmine Crockett. I said that in a funny way. The SAVE Act is yet another bogus attempt by Republicans to suppress the vote, and this time they're targeting women. This bill would make it damn near impossible for millions of women who change their last name after marriage to cast a ballot. Let's be clear, this isn't about election integrity. It's about voter suppression, and trust my damn women caucus colleagues and I are not letting it slide. What are you talking about?
If there was any justification for repealing the 19th, I think that post might be one of them.
Yeah, are you saying women are too dumb to update their documentation? My wife had all of her documentation updated in 30 days or less after we got married. This is a retarded argument against preventing undocumented people from voting. Yeah, no, seriously.
No,
what is she saying? She's saying that because the documentation is different, or it's supposed to be different after you get married, you can just update it.
Yeah, and I think this kind of goes along the lines of, oh, well, black people don't know how to find the DMV, so they won't be able to get...
No, I hate that argument so much. That is one of the most racist arguments I've ever heard for not having voter ID.
Yeah, or the videos of, there are black people who don't even know what a computer is, and then all of these black people started making the TikToks and stuff of them, seeing the computer and, oh, what's this? Oh, it's just... The Democrats have such a low opinion of their constituents that they don't even realize how heavy their insults toward them are.
Well, the Democrats are just a bunch of white knights. They all want to be white knights for the with their pointy hats.
Yeah.
They just don't realize it. They just do it in ways where they don't have to think about it.
Right.
But we'll see where that goes.
Question on the SAVE Act. How much of what's in the SAVE Act overlaps with Trump's executive order that he just put through for voter integrity?
I would hope 100%.
Well, I mean, it seems like it's just a couple of things.
I think Melted is bullying you now. I think he keeps messaging you on Discord. He told you to mute Discord next time you go live.
Dude, yeah, I popped open Discord. I don't even know if I have him added. Is he tagging me in a group chat or something?
I don't know. He said you got to mute it. He said when you start the show, turn your Discord to do not disturb.
Dude, how do I do that? Where do I turn Discord to?
I don't know.
You son of a bitch.
I have that turned off by default, so I don't know him on Discord. Oh, okay.
I didn't think it was me because I'm not getting notifications for it. Maybe I am just getting...
One of the servers might be. That's funny, though. Okay, well, while you're figuring that out, let me pull up this next story because I really want to talk about this. And then we'll talk about Trump after this because he is in the thumbnail. So I brought up recently that China would be what's it called. China has been trying to take control of the Panama Canal, and then BlackRock was going to purchase two very important key ports there. We had a big story about that because that was pretty big. It was gonna be like a $20 billion, no, $23 billion deal. Now it's being blocked by China. And what's funny about it is China is citing anti-monopoly laws and rules. And it's like China's literally one giant monopoly, and they're trying to say BlackRock is too big of a monopoly. Did you hear all that?
No, I can't focus on two things at the same time. Just
that's fair. So China is now blocking BlackRock from buying those two ports in the Panama Canal, and they're citing anti-monopoly laws when China's literally a giant monopoly.
right, but at the same time, like I hate BlackRock, and so,
I hate BlackRock too, but would you rather China or a technically American company own the parts of the Panama Canal?
And that's what I'm kind of getting at is
because we talked about this a little bit last time. It's like no one likes BlackRock, but if the choice is China or BlackRock, I'm going BlackRock.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. And so, how is China blocking them? What actions are they taking to block them?
They're filing a lawsuit, and they're saying that it goes against anti-monopoly practices. So they're saying that BlackRock's a monopoly, and they don't want them to buy it because it would strengthen their monopoly.
Huh. I mean, it's an interesting argument.
I mean, I guess BlackRock does own a ton of stuff. If they owned ports in the Panama, I guess that would be more of a monopoly. They can monopolize on that, right?
Yeah.
But
something interesting cracks down. A buddy sent me. He's kind of like a lefty dude, but he sent me an article saying that China cracks down on personal information collection, meaning that like social media apps and stuff can't collect data the way that they have been or something like that. So it's interesting to see China doing something good in that regard. It's interesting to see them combating BlackRock here, but like you say, I think even though China's standing up and fighting against BlackRock that I hate, I do think your analogy of I'd rather it be BlackRock over China is a valid argument.
Yeah. No, I mean I personally would rather it be BlackRock than China. Oops. I didn't mean to put that up there. Hey, Melted, I don't even know how to make you a mod. Maybe I need to go to the actual I think I know how to do it. Maybe I actually have to go to the physical stream. Okay, wait. Maybe here.
Wait, Grant, are we crowning a mod right now?
I was gonna give Melted mod status, yeah, but I can't even. Oh. I don't even know how to fucking do it. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, user Melted gives me the option to mute you.
Might as well start with that while we finish out these stories.
Yeah, we'll start with that. He's distracting me too much. Okay, so let's see. Talk about that. How could we forget? Let's talk about this before we talk about Donald Trump. We'll do the Trump is king for last story.
Cool.
So let's talk about this. So TJ, did you know today's a holiday?
Today's a holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's International Trans Day of Visibility.
Oh, so have they been invisible the rest of the year?
Well, I don't know about you. I don't believe in trans people.
The ability to be invisible.
You know how there's a bunch of trans people? They're like, you don't believe in my existence. I'm just gonna start saying, yeah, I don't. Like, I don't think you're real. I don't think you people are real.
I'm just gonna come back with we're all living in a simulation. You're not.
We're all in a simulation. You just like
not real.
Yeah, we're all playing in a simulator. You guys are males playing female characters. Like it's fine. Just deal with it. You know.
Can we make it a point to always respond to the whole they're denying my existence? Can we all just respond with the meme of that lady on the airplane being like, that motherfucker is not real? I think that would just be the greatest comeback to use all the time.
You know, it would be great. I want in video games now, like, okay, GTA 6 comes out, right? So, okay. Like, you get your character, you make your character and stuff, and let's say you get to level 50 and you want to change your character's appearance, right? Mm-hmm. And you want to change your character to a female. I want video games to force it to be a trans person at that point.
and like have a level of
So like a dude that can now wear dresses and stuff like that, but like he didn't change much.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it changed like all the dialogue, all the random NPC
If I can't be a
dialogue
trans person in GTA 6, I don't want it. That's my Trans Day of Visibility support.
cool.
But of course, I had to bring that up because we got to acknowledge the trans people on
Yeah.
Trans
How
Day of
how long
Visibility.
is this? How long has this holiday been going on for?
Oh, I don't know, for forever. It's the trans people have always existed, TJ. So the holidays always existed, whether you knew it or not. Okay, let's see. We got about 15 minutes, so let's talk about this story. So this story happened a while ago, but I guess this guy just recently got deported. You may have seen it. Venezuela influencer deported for home squatting advice. So this guy, during that whole like squatting fiasco that happened like a year or two ago, he was making videos basically telling other illegals how he does it and how to get money from the government while also squatting on people's property for free. And he himself was a migrant that wasn't supposed to be here. So he fucked around, posted videos, and he found out. He's been arrested, and now he's officially been deported. Viral illegal TikTok influencer who urged others to squat in U.S. homes has been deported. So he was officially deported, and great. That's great news. That I mean, don't make videos like this. I don't know what else to add to that.
Yeah. So first off, like, don't squat in other people's house. Secondly, if you're here illegally, you should probably want to fly under the radar. I don't know if going viral while, illegally being in a country is a wise move.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's just not a smart idea to do, especially because more Americans are going to see it than like illegal migrants.
Yeah. I think that's just asking for trouble, and I think that it probably would have happened to him quite a bit earlier if the previous administration was actually like wanting to, combat illegal immigration in the slightest,
Right. Melted in the chat said I'm one follower away from 50.
From
150.
Let's go.
Let me share the stream, guys. Share the stream. Let's get that 150 before the end, right? That was in Biden times. None of them were scared of the light till it burned. Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, Biden didn't. How long did it take for the? How long did the Tren de Agua gangs have control of those hotels or those apartment complexes? Because I made multiple videos about that. How long did they have control over those buildings before Trump got in and like finally got them deported and arrested?
It's a valid question. Do you know the answer to that, or are you just speaking?
It was like a year. It was
right.
Like a year. So those people were getting terrorized by Tren de Agua, and Biden's just sitting back chilling. Because that was a story for a while. Yeah, maybe even 2 years, Melted said.
Yeah, it's crazy to see it's crazy to see the way society will go when lawlessness is not combated. You know what I mean? When they just allow people to run rampant. It's crazy.
But I mean, like this goes back to the same topic we always bring up. It's like, yeah, the president matters, but it would matter a lot more if your local politicians did something. Because like your local politicians aren't doing anything. Where's the police at? Where are the police? Like I get, like even in my town, that we don't have as big a police force as we should. But that's incumbent upon the politicians and government, local government. They need to get more resources. They need to reach out for that stuff. So it's like, yeah, Biden didn't do anything, but your local politicians could have. You gotta. That's yet again got to focus on local politics. The president matters a lot. Don't get me wrong. The president matters a lot.
So, but if these people were in the country illegally, like, what, you just lock them up in a prison in the U.S. for whatever crimes they're committing, and then they're not being deported, and so it's just
I mean, you would have to. I mean, what's the alternative? You just let them keep committing crimes, or you put them on a bus? Put them on a bus from Texas to New York. Like
the local government couldn't have deported them. Right?
Yeah, and I don't know about like the prisons and stuff because maybe they don't have the room for prisons. It's a complicated topic, but I don't think you can just keep them out on the streets.
Yeah.
But so we got 10 minutes left before Joey on Outworld Live. Let's get to this final story. Well, I have other stories in case we don't talk about this for long enough, but I have a feeling that we can make jokes about this for the next 10 minutes. So King Trump, his dynasty begins. Trump eyes a third term, cites methods amid constitutional limits. Former President Donald Trump has expressed interest in seeking a third term in office, suggesting that there are methods to do so despite the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution, which limits a president to two terms. Trump's comments have sparked a range of reactions on social media, with some users expressing disbelief and others discussing the constitutional implications. Legal experts and political figures have emphasized that the Constitution does not allow for a third term, reinforcing that the amendment is non-negotiable. Well, fuck it. Donald Trump, round 3, let's go, baby. He didn't have guys. He's on his second term, but they weren't consecutive. So does he get it? Does he get another one? It needs to be 2 consecutive terms, TJ.
The technicality.
Yeah, is that no? No, I hate the idea of a third term. Yeah, no, we're just making jokes, man. I think it's a terrible. It would be totally unconstitutional for Trump or anybody to do it. I love the idea of it because it's hilarious and it pisses off Democrats.
Yeah. When we were doing the after show in the Discord on Thursday or Friday, I jumped up and I was talking about how I don't think he does need to run for a third term because I think that he's already kicked down the door. He's kicked down the door, and now this is a new era of politics with this whole America First movement. Like, he's just the current figurehead, and yes, he has the level of charisma and notoriety to really make politics like popular almost. But with the bench that we have, it's almost plug and play at this point.
Well, he barely survived getting to the second term, so I don't think we should push for a third.
Well, I don't like that argument because that means that their acts of terrorism are enough to dissuade our actions.
Yeah, but they
don't necessarily support a third term, but I don't like that being
the point when I bring that up is they already think he's a constitutional threat, right? But if he outright is like, fuck the 22nd Amendment, I'm gonna run for a third term, it might make them even crazier and actually kill him.
Right. And
that was more of my argument.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I do think that the optics on this whole conversation give the left some sort of ground to stand on to be like, see, we told you he was going to try and be a dictator for life or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But I don't really think he's serious about it. And I also asked the question, what happened to that whole Signal news story? Because it doesn't seem like you're talking about Signal anymore.
No, actually, I had a story about that.
Well, shit, you busted a hole in my argument. All I'm saying is that this is some hypothetical bullshit, and it could be used to manipulate the news cycle to something that's obviously not going to happen.
Yeah, so the story about Signal, though, it looks like the DOJ is actually going after the people that allowed the reporter into the Signal group chat.
Interesting.
So they'll probably be facing charges.
So that would be
whoever it was that invited him in. It wasn't Pete Hegseth directly, but it was other people.
Right. So here's another quick thought I had on the whole Signal thing. They said that Signal was preloaded onto a lot of their devices, correct?
Wait, West Rev said, let their crazy stir more. Stir more will come in droves to our side when they start to chew. Wait, when they start to chew off their tail to feel the Trump is sitting here saying he would go for a third term. Little bit of a spell check there, Melted, but I get what you're saying. Let the Democrats go crazy and let them stir around at the thought of Trump getting a third term. He's not going to get a third term. I guarantee you he's just trolling, even saying stuff like this where he's like, there's methods I could do it. I think he's just messing with people. I don't think he's actually do it. He would be, like you pointed out in the chat, Melted, he's going to be 86 by the end of his third term if he were to do that. So there's no way. I wouldn't want that. What were you saying, TJ?
So with the whole Signal thing, it was said that these people received their government issued devices with Signal pre-installed, correct?
Pre-installed.
Do you remember hearing about that?
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
So yeah, it was around the it was a part of the conversation when they were saying like, why are they even using Signal for communication? And the answer to that was, oh well, it was because the Biden administration had approved Signal for communication throughout the administration, and then when the Trump team got in, they were issued their government devices that had Signal on it. My question is, like, did the government's IT department pre-program what apps and stuff are already installed, and did they also what are the odds of them adding contacts, adding your contact list of the people that you might need to be in contact with? And was there anyone in IT who put someone's number in as the wrong person? Because in the interview that was it Waltz or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it enough today.
Yeah, so I mean, there was the interview that he did right after it happened, where he was saying like, have you ever went to text somebody and you click on their name and it's the right name, but it's the wrong phone number?
I have an interesting in my phone. I have my girlfriend. I have 2 contacts for her, but it's the same number.
Interesting.
So like when I tell the AI to call, it's like, oh, do you mean this or this? Because the names are basically it's like her name and then the nickname I have for her, and then the phone, like it made 2 separate contacts for it. It's weird.
Yeah.
So when I tell it to call, so I don't know, maybe it could be something like that. There was a mix up with the phone contacts. I don't know. I don't know. But whoever was in charge of inviting people to that group chat, I mean, they dropped the ball, and for some reason, everyone's coming down on Pete Hegseth over it, which I don't even think it's that big of a mistake. I also think it was staged. I still think it was staged.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if his argument about it was the right name in the contact, but it was the wrong phone number in the contact, I'm wondering if the people who have government issued devices, like what level of configuration was done before they were given the devices, and could someone have potentially entered the incorrect name with an incorrect number, and so he's just thinking, okay, well, cool, here's the guy I'm trying to contact. Like,
yeah, well, Melted, just delete one of the contacts. What if I like having dual contacts? What if I like it? But no, but Trump eyeing a 3rd term overall, I don't think it's a great idea. It's just not good for anyone, and it's not good for Trump. It's not good for the country. It's unconstitutional. We need to have other people step up. JD Vance, I don't know, maybe Ron will run again.
I mean, Vivek, if he
Vivek
that he does in Ohio, like Byron Donalds has been doing.
The Republicans have options, unlike the Democrats.
He's got a good bench, dude.
Yeah, so let Trump step down. Let Trump go into the shadows and be a kingmaker. He can just from the sidelines endorse people, and then I mean, because the main focus should be hammering every single person that gets propped up by the Democrats in the next couple of years. The job needs to be to dismantle them. Like when Gavin Newsom gets propped up, and someone needs to just drop a fat list of every failure in California that was under his watch, and which would probably be like an entire 600-page book, just like stuff like that, like what Tulsi did with Kamala Harris, like just bring up their record, like bam, 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 just hammer it home, and let people know they're garbage. Do you have anything to add to this Trump terms, the 3rd term? Because I mean, he should pass the torch. That's all I have to say.
I mean, it's the way that it's supposed to go. You are supposed to only have the 2 terms. I think as much as we like him, and as much as the country would probably benefit from a 3rd term, I don't think we need him. I think that we will have someone who steps up and can be the new face of the America First or the MAGA movement or whatever you want to call it, and it will continue pushing our country toward becoming greater and greater.
Absolutely. And Joey just said in the chat, we got a Rumble rant from Swinoski, celebrity in the chat. Joey requests you keep going until he can start a few minutes late. 5-7. So it looks
Smacking Joey.
we got an extra 10 minutes over here. TJ, are you
Let's
really
go.
complaining? You
Not at
complaining
all.
about an extra 10 minutes?
Oh,
Do you
I
know
think
what we
I
get to talk about? You know what we get to talk about in that extra 10 minutes, Joey?
Should I be terrified? Should I be terrified? What is it?
It's terrified. You should never be terrified when you're on Tyler Today News. USAID shuttered, staff fired, and State Department merger. Look at the way that lock is on that door. Isn't that beautiful?
It has to be intentional. It has
Yeah.
to be just the slap in the face, right?
Look at that little dick piercing on the end there. That's amazing.
It's so outrageous.
No,
It's so outrageous that someone would approve it. It just shows the level of depravity that went all throughout.
no, that's just a coincidence. That's pure coincidence, man. There's no way. That's pure coincidence. Imagine the guy who put the lock on there. He's like, all right, let's lock this bitch up. All right, we're good to go. Steps back, and he's like, oh fuck.
Oh, so okay. Wait a second. I didn't even realize that was the lock on the.
No, dude. That's them locking
chain.
it. So you know the way I take this is get fucked, USAID. Yeah. Beautiful.
No,
I love to see it.
USA getting dick slapped right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just want to say thank you again to Sinoski. We will be going an extra 10 minutes. I got you, Joey. Don't trip. If you look up Slacker, a photo of Joey shows up on Google.
Yeah, I've heard that's true.
Heard that true?
Yep.
Yeah, you and Melted, man. You guys are Joey haters.
No way, I don't hate Joey. Joey.
No, I was just messing around. Yeah, you need to go on his show more often, TJ, when he invites you up.
Yeah.
You just sit there in the chat. You're like, oh, I need to go to bed. And then 10 minutes later, you're in the chat again.
Like, that's the thing. Because I say that I need to go to bed. And then, but like, I don't know. I mean, you're a gamer. Have you ever done the whole, all right, just one more game?
Well, dude, I've been doing that on Helldivers lately, and that is not a good game to do that on because each mission is like a fucking hour long. So you're like, it's 2 a.m. Just one more, and then you look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. And you're like, shit.
That's what it's like when I'm trying to leave Joey's chat because I just want to talk shit to everyone who's speaking of some bullshit up there.
Yeah.
I say goodnight. I try to lurk for 5 minutes, and then there's something that just sets me off, and I got to say something.
Nope, that sounds exactly right. I had some other stories that we could pull up too. Let me see.
Hold on, real quick on this USA.
Yeah, no, keep talking about it. I'm just pulling something else up.
Is this full shutdown of everything, or just they lock the office while they're doing?
USAID is gone, and they're merging what's left of it into another department. So it's gone.
That's
it's
fucking
gone now.
incredible. Like how many like ex influencers for the Democratic Party are going to be like just dropping off and not doing it anymore because it's not profitable because they aren't getting that USAID money. How many? I don't know. I truly wonder how much propaganda.
We'll see how much protesting happens in the next few years. Yeah. I mean, who's paying for all the Tesla vandalism right now?
Yeah. Well, fuck. Wasn't that? I don't know.
It was like Act Blue. I know Act Blue was paying for some of it.
I think Elon had a tweet within the last couple of hours that was saying that there were $200 reimbursement agreements for protesters.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I forget who was saying. Yeah. I did see that there was an organization that was giving reimbursements to people vandalizing Teslas, and then they got found out, so then they took the website down, but the request links and applications are still up. But let's get your take on this story. Since Joey wants me to kill time, I know exactly how we're going to kill time. You know how we're going to kill time? Now you should be scared.
Uh-oh.
Now you should be scared.
Not just scared, but terrified.
Now you should be terrified. Now we're going to talk about Hitler. Let's see. So Milei releases documents on Nazis in Argentina. Did you see this story?
I did not.
So I haven't read through the documents myself, but I was looking at this a little bit before we went live, and people are alleging that the documents that have been declassified from Argentina show that Elon that show Hitler actually fled after World War II and lived for another 20 years in Argentina and had 2 children, both being daughters.
Wow.
And that's what they're alleging. That's not confirmed. I still need to look into it, but that's what everyone's talking about. So declassified documents which confirm that Hitler had fled to Argentina after World War II, aided by America. He was aided by America, where he lived for another 20 years and had 2 children. So there's a lot of people talking about this and sharing it. I don't know if it's actually true, but it seems like it is.
So with the level of like lies and propaganda and stories that that we get fed on a daily basis, but that we can easily debunk because we have, you know, global communication where the propaganda can like really be debunked. Like, how easy was it back then for just someone to give a story about how Hitler died, and then that being the truth because that's all anybody knew, and there was no alternative, counter argument to it.
I mean, we talk about this a lot. Like, how do you confirm anything in history? When like we basically a lot of history is just going off of someone's personal accounts in like a journal or like some books, and it's like, how do you know? Like that's what actually happened.
Exactly.
There's a lot of cases like that, and I mean, just look at what happened during COVID. They tried to change history for a lot of things during and after COVID. A lot of people saying they didn't advocate for certain things that they did. And it's just it's interesting, you know. But I mean, this has been a theory for a long time. A lot of people have always said that he fled to like Argentina or Mexico or something like that. This has been a theory for a long time. So if it is getting confirmed, I mean, just tack that onto the list, right? Tack that onto the list of conspiracy theories coming true.
Right. Hashtag Hitler didn't kill himself.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's all right, and that's enough internet for TJ today.
Oh fuck!
Man.
I'm surprised it's not trending if everybody's talking about it.
This was on the trending tab. What you said should be on the. But no, it's so this is an interesting story. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually true or not.
Him and Elvis were down there just sipping margaritas and taking bong rips all day.
I mean, Malay is pretty based. Imagine him going through some old documents and he's reading it and he's like, wait a fucking minute.
Right. That also gives a little bit of legitimacy to it as well, because he is, he's doing the whole MAGA transparency thing there as well. You know what I mean?
Well, he's just anti-communist. I don't even know if you can't really call him like MAGA. He's anti-communist and anti-authoritarian.
Yeah, I mean, he's cutting through the corrupt bureaucracy isn't he? Like,
yeah, no, he is. And so he got rid of Argentina had a massive deficit like the United States. He's cleared it up. They're no longer in debt. Argentina has no more debt.
That's phenomenal. And I feel like that's what, same thing Elon's trying to do with Doge, which is why I can make the association between, MAGA and what he's trying to do or whatever. But
look, Joey lied. He said 5 to 7 minutes. That was 8 minutes ago, guys. He lied.
Ooh.
Liar. Let's see.
Real closing thought on that. I don't necessarily know if I believe it, but for the reasons I previously stated, I could be open to hearing the arguments that they're presenting,
Yeah. And then there's like a news story every day for Tesla vandalization. We already talked about that a little bit today. Looks like we had more strikes on Yemen today. Let's pull that up.
Did we?
Or over the weekend at least. Let's pull it up.
Now, are all of these strikes taking place on ships that are out in the water?
No, we're striking them on land.
Gotcha.
Because all these all the pirates. See, that's the thing about pirates, right? They go out on the ocean and they steal stuff, but they have to have somewhere to go back to port.
Right.
So we're blowing up their ports. No, I'm just I don't know exactly what we're blowing up, but over the past few days, the United States has conducted multiple airstrikes targeting Houthi positions in Yemen, including the capitals Sana'a and Saada Governorate. Okay. These military actions have resulted in at least one civilian death and several injuries. President Trump has issued an ultimatum to the Houthis, warning of further consequences if attacks on U.S. ships continue, directly linking the group to Iran. The strikes have been met with varied reactions, with some praising the show of strength and others condemning the actions as aggressive. Really, and so Donald Trump, he doesn't tweet often, so you always got to pull up his tweets. The Iran-backed Houthi terrorists have been decimated by the relentless strikes over the past 2 weeks. Many of their fighters and leaders are no longer with us, so we hit them every day and night. harder and harder. Their capabilities that threaten shipping and the region are rapidly being destroyed. Our attacks will continue until they are no longer a threat to freedom of navigation. The choice of the Houthis is clear. Stop shooting at U.S. ships, and we will stop shooting at you. Otherwise, we have only just begun, and the real pain is yet to come for both the Houthis and their sponsors in Iran. So I don't like that end part where he talks about targeting Iran.
Right.
But yeah, no, decimate the Houthis if we have to. If they're not gonna, if we can't safely get things through the shipping lane, yes, decimate the Houthis.
So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of, especially like with Trump being interviewed by Tim, and them actually talking about the Houthis and whatnot. I'm not the biggest fan of the concept of strikes, basically going to war against them or what have you. But if they are going to do it, I do think that a couple of strikes and say, hey, are you guys going to keep doing this shit?
Yeah.
I mean, if they do it more, a couple more strikes, be like, hey, are you guys done yet? No,
it's
hey, a couple
totally.
more strikes. It's almost like this destruction is being used as a negotiation tool rather than let's wipe out the entire group. Does that make sense?
He just wants them to stop. He doesn't want to have a war.
Right. And I think that's something that's been missing from a lot of our military engagements is if this happens, aggression stops. You know what I mean? If we are going to be doing this, at least we have something that will halt all aggression or whatever.
So I think that's a great way to end it. Joey is live. Looks like he has Chris from the Quiet Part Pod on. So you guys got to go check that out. I'm going to send you guys over there right now. I'm going to go ahead and cue the outro. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. TJ, will you be on tomorrow?
I'll be here tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. So we'll have TJ back tomorrow. Check us out on all the social medias. Like, share, follow, and head over to Joey's show. Not TJ. TJ doesn't have a show yet. He needs to make one. I'm waiting for TJ today. Today news. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cue the outro. Thank you guys for tuning in, and peace out. Let's cue this outro. Send you over to Joey. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning into the video today. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to support me and support what I do, make sure you hit that like button, thumbs up, whatever you're watching from. If you are watching me from YouTube, go over to Rumble. If you're watching me from Rumble, go over to YouTube. Up to you. Always appreciate the extra follow. You could also follow me on X at Tyler Today News or at Tyler Rittenauer, which is my full name. Tyler Today News, YouTube, Tyler Today News, Rumble. Or if you want to go ahead and watch me over on Twitch for when I stream. I also stream at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, but I do stream from all three platforms. I just stream on Twitch as well, just to, have my name out there on Twitch as well. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out.